What's going on, guys? Rampaging Rampardos here with WWE Monday Night RAW review in Baltimore. Now, I'm just going to get straight into it. I won't go into like how Raw runs. I'll just get into it. So, obviously, everybody knows that Rollins returned last night to Extreme Rules to deliver the pedigree to Reigns, which was all amazing and shocking to end the pay-per-view, in my opinion. I wasn't too sure about the ending, how the match, ended with, Reigns spearing. Like, he should have been really lost to World Heavyweight Championship, but it is WWE. Because how does he kick out of a Stars Clash on the chair? But, oh well, it's WWE, it's Reigns. That's the past now. Rollins kicks off the show. Obviously the crowd are hyped because obviously he's the face, or he's a baby face now. He mentions that he wants to get the title that he never lost, that he mentioned. I think it was the Sammy Awards, and obviously the crowd are hard saying yes chants. Thank you Rollins, obviously for the return. And then I knew this was coming because WWE didn't want him to become a face. He then brings up social media about people calling him a coward, the weakest whatever champion, all that kind of stuff. Apparently he got flowers, mentions he got flowers, fan mail, and that he threw it in the bin and set it on fire, obviously, whilst he was in hospital recovering. Shortly after that, he mentioned that Reigns came out. As he enters the ring, obviously, classic Rollins escapes the ring, has nothing to do with him, as he chats to himself saying that it's his time, stuff. Shane comes out, short and simple, obviously brings back like how Rollins got the World Heavyweight Championship, and that he never lost it, so obviously basically he is the number one contender still. So he sets up a match, they'll be facing for the World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. So obviously, short segment from Shane McMahon just sets the match, and they build it from there. Obviously, Rollins is happy, Reigns seems to not care. But this was like the Raw of the qualifying for the Money in the Bank, guys. So obviously, I think the Money in the Bank's in June, late June. But I was a bit like, this is weird. We just came off a pay-per-view and now we're getting ready for the next one because people are qualifying. I thought this would be like closer to the pay-per-view, but I guess it's good to, get the qualifying out the way first. Then they can build more rivalries from there. Now I was really hyped for some of these qualifying matches, guys. I was like, ooh, and shocked. I was like, these are going to be some good matches. So, obviously, we had the Sheamus versus Sami Zayn. We had Parlay versus Chris Jericho. We had Dolph Ziggler versus Dean Ambrose, and then we had the AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens, which I really seen the look of earlier this morning, because obviously I didn't watch it last night because I was just too tired. But obviously the first match was Sami Zayn versus Sheamus. Decent match. The crowd obviously in Baltimore were amazing. They were pumped, obviously, from the start of the match, from the start of the show actually, because Rollins came out. It had quite a few good moments, guys. You saw heel kicks, Oklahomana's, the outside moonsault that Sami Zayn does, Irish curse, backbreaker, I said clothesline from Sami Zayn, the Mitchell driver, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, I didn't really see so much from Sheamus. It was more Sami Zayn, what you can expect from him more in Money in the Bank. I think it was the match ended with the overkick. It was like 11-minute or so minute match. Decent match. Not much from Sheamus in a way. He was just wearing him down. Decent match. I was kind of invested in it a bit. It was kind of brought slow at some stages in the match. But yeah, decent kickoff match. It was alright. Obviously after the Aluva kick, Sheamus was pissed. You could tell by his face. Because obviously he got beat by a new era. Obviously Sami Zayn. And so Apollo had an interview with what's her name? Dean Ambrose' wife, whatever her name is. Renee, that's it. He talks about Chris Jericho and that he feels sorry for him, not having to Extreme Rules, or the thumbtacks, whatever you want to call them. And then Sheamus comes in, attacks Polly backstage, sends him into those boxes or whatever they are, and says that he's going to be stopping the new era and stuff, momentum. But yeah, that doesn't affect the match at all. I don't know if it does or not. I'll have to go into it after when we get to that match, but Sheamus attacks Polly backstage. I have a lot to cover this week, guys. A lot happened. The New Day come out after that attack to say happy birthday to WWE Raw show for the 1200th episode. And obviously Xavier says, from Extreme Rules we got obviously they didn't celebrate the victory, but they are still the WWE Tag Team Champions from Extreme Rules. Big E gets a cake, starts threatening people with it, threatening this little kid. I was like, if he does that, does that make them heel? You know, some people might, but obviously they won't do that, because obviously everybody's with them. Then he starts threatening Michael Cole, like, as he got the cake, and no, it's not Michael Cole, it's JBL, and then he goes, I wanted him really to hit Byron Saxton with it, but obviously that's not the case. I thought they were going to face someone like the Royal Villains or somebody, you know, or something, but obviously not. After the Social Outcast attack Kofi and Xavier, because they're still in the ring at this point, whilst Big E is threatening people with the cake. I wasn't too sure about this match. Obviously, it was not even that long of a match. It was like a 5-minute match. It was all New Day, really. I don't think he got even a tag. But it was a decent match. Obviously, we saw the Unicorn Stampede, a massive drop kick from the turnbuckle. Not turnbuckle. When Big E slings Kofi into the person in the corner of the turnbuckle. We saw, obviously, that trio tag team they did. I'm not sure what that was. And then, obviously, it ends with the big ending tag duo move, whatever it's called. It was alright. It was just funny seeing them hit some with the cake, how they just slung Slater into it. So, you know, after that next segment or match, the Miz and Moose come out, usual stuff, talking about, you know, Extreme Rules, movie kind of things, and before they kiss and whatever, Miz talks about his title, and that he had 25% chance due to there being 4 people in the match. Shortly after, before the kiss, Cesaro comes out, and it was another decent match. Qualifying match. We saw the uppercut train start away. We saw that. Just, I don't know what that is, when Cesaro goes on the apron and then he does that kind of cannibal kind of move. I'm just going to call it a cannibal because it's like a cannibal, where he just jumps into that cannibal on the Miz outside. We saw a vertical suplex. We saw corkscrew uppercut. The DDT that Miz does, like signature. He obviously grabbed Cesaro's legs and lifted his head and hit the bottom rope like he usually does. Classic Miz. Drop kick to the Miz off the turnbuckle. Upcut into the barricade. Runs outside the ring. You know, it's a really decent match, guys. It's, you know, Raw's kind of, it's like, Raw does well. Like, this Raw was really good. And then, this one will probably get a good rating. But they've got to keep this up, because obviously their rating's going to go down, their popularity's going to go down, and people are just not going to watch it because it's boring. But I feel like this one might have changed it. Extreme Rules did make a difference in what they did usually at Payback. I thought Extreme Rules was definitely better than Payback. But yeah, it's Raw's reaction. I want them to put SmackDown on TV. I'd love to do SmackDown reviews because I don't mind SmackDown. But yeah, if you guys would like to see that. But this was a decent match. I really enjoyed it. You saw, obviously, Cesaro doing the crossbody, which was different to see. I didn't really see him do that before. A stomp to the body, it's like a curve stomp he did to the stomach, to the Miz. Obviously, Miz, classic Miz, obviously, again, targeting the injury of people, which was Cesaro's shoulder. He tried to get the hack stand up on the top, but got caught by the uppercut. That turned into the neutralizer, and it was like a 30-minute match, and Cesaro qualified for the Money in the Bank. Obviously, Sami Zayn's with him now. But yeah, that was a decent match. I really enjoyed these two matches so far. I was really invested in what was going on. Obviously, I couldn't really tell who was going to win because they're high competitors, you know. I didn't know exactly who was going to win between Sheamus and Sami Zayn, but obviously I feel like Sami Zayn was going to win because Kevin Owens was in there, and it would make sense for them both to be in there because that makes people invest into the Money in the Bank match more because those two in there and they're good wrestlers. So obviously the Miz didn't really need to qualify because it's Intercontinental, so that immediately makes someone else go after the Intercontinental because Cesaro was qualified, Sami Zayn's qualified, and yeah, so obviously it's either if Owens wins this match, then the Miz will have a new rival, more likely than not. It's a 30-minute match. It was a decent match. I really enjoyed it. Saw the Miz do that turnbuckle move where he runs up and knees the person to the head. And to the head, I like that move a lot. I forgot what it's called. It was like a 13 to 15-minute match. I really enjoyed it. But, like I said, WWE needs to make these wars like this all the time. Have them against, like, high competitor against high competitor. You know, I'm glad they put Apollo Crews versus Chris Jericho. It gives Apollo someone who is a amazing wrestler. Sorry about that, guys. My friend was calling me from the back garden and didn't bother to ring the doorbell, so I had to cut it there, and then because he was calling me, I'm out of breath, so I had to take my time. But I think I was talking about this Apollo Crews match, and as I was saying, I wasn't too sure I was gonna win. Like I've been talking, especially Extreme Rules. Jericho is near the end of his career. He probably can go for another year, and I feel it's surprising that he hasn't had like a title shot at any point when he's returned. I feel he definitely deserves it. And he deserves like a United States or Intercontinental at least. But in this match, he faced Apollo, who was on about saying that I was talking about the new era, and then obviously I was talking about that. Where's Apollo? And my expectations were they're going to let Apollo win, and then they'll give him a shot to see if he can win Money in the Bank, because who wouldn't like to see Apollo with the Money in the Bank briefcase? It'd be pretty interesting, but obviously he's still new, and you know, but again, this match was really good. We saw suplexes, senton, snap suplex, drop kicks, scoop slams, lion on salts, scoop power slams, no, not side slams, that's it. So we saw scoop power slams, Walls of Jericho, Enzuigiri kick, you know, lion salt from outside the ring, from the apron, Jericho's one, but obviously that ended up with Apollo getting up and he got hit by his kick on the head, and then obviously Apollo got Jericho rolled up and it was a near fall, and then randomly just a code break out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3. Jericho is qualified for Money in the Bank match on Sunday, whenever it is in June. So it was a decent match, probably like 11 or so minute match. I was surprised he won. I thought Apollo was going to win, but obviously that's not the case. I feel like he'll have a rivalry with Sheamus, because I feel like due to what he did to him backstage, that might affect how he did in this match. Maybe they could make that up. And Apollo Crews versus Sheamus, I'd like to see maybe. Sheamus hasn't been in a match for a while, besides the ones on SmackDown and on this one on Raw. I'd like to see them have a feud about it. I'd love to see Sheamus versus Apollo, two good wrestlers. But yeah, Jericho won. And now it seems like it's unpredictable who's going to win the bank at this point, because we've seen Cesaro win, we've seen Sami Zayn win, never saw Jericho. So it's really confusing who's going to win between those three. And there's also the one later between Amber and Dolph Ziggler. I need to take a breath. Really sorry about that, guys. But after that, obviously, we saw Darren Young, Bob Backlund. I haven't really touched on this in my reviews because it's just going to fail. It's pointless. It's not going to work as a gimmick. It lasts 1 week and that's it. No point. Since we're almost Darren Young great again in the first place, make him straight again. If anything, you need to make Tyler Breeze great again, because he was amazing in NXT. But yeah, why Darren Young? What has he done to have a like this kind of promo or whatever it is? And then they say make Darren Young great again. I don't understand what he did. That was great. Yeah, won the tag team championships. I wouldn't count that as great, you know. They weren't that popular as a team. First of all, I didn't really like them. As I got used to them, I started to use this kind of thing. I just turned down and just didn't like them. Backstage, Enzo, Baron was talking about the Extreme Rules match with what's her name? One of the people in the back. Oh, what's her name? What's her name? Why can't I remember people's names? Not Renee, the other one. That's quite small. Talks about Baron's win and how he won it at Extreme Rules. And like I said, he said anyway, that they were talking about the low blow, and he's mentioned that it is Extreme Rules, and he did that because he can. Obviously, like I said, and the commentator said, Dolph Ziggler comes in, obviously talking about technical wrestling, and that he didn't do it, and then he'll show technical wrestling against Dean Ambrose. So they're having a match on SmackDown, it seems, this Thursday. Is it on Thursday? I'm not too sure. It might be on Tuesday, because apparently on Thursdays now, there's an advert that is coming back on TV on Thursdays, but what do I know? Massive surprise to everybody. Obviously, Enzo returns, which is amazing. With Big Cass, I wasn't too sure if it was going to be them both returning, but it was. I was really shocked about that. That's like jumping out the sofa, dancing, you know. And they're obviously doing their amazing stuff on the mic, jokes and stuff, and hilarious things like he always does. This match turned into Big Cass versus, obviously, you know, Bubba, because they've had a bit of a feud. It was like a 5 to 8 minute match. We saw a suplex, we saw a massive splash from Big Cass, obviously, you know, Big Boot, which was his signature. We saw Enzo get tossed like at a rapid pace into Devon. He just ran into, luckily he was going to run into Big Cass, and then Big Cass just picked him up and chucked him into Devon. Devon got destroyed. And then obviously after the Big Boot, he hit him with the Empire Elbow. 1, 2, 3. Big Cass win. It's like a 7 or 8 minute match. Might have been that probably. But yeah. See, I had to write down so much of what happened in the matches. I've got 2 sheets, you know. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, this is, yeah. So after that, Charlotte and Mick come out with Dana, who distracted Natalia for the win at Extreme Rules, dressed up as Ric Flair. Obviously they say thank you for Dana, and obviously she says it's a pleasure to be with the dirtiest player in the game. And so from there, Rick mentions about her childhood, what Charlotte did. I can't remember what he said. It was something, I don't know. and at the moment, the time when she won the Women's Championship, and how she's progressed from there, but she hasn't done it by herself, which doesn't really show she's shown progress, because she's had distractions from Ric Flair time and time again, which pisses people off, especially me, because we all know she can do it by herself. She's talented, you know, and yeah. There's something else I want to mention in this about Charlotte in a minute. A rumour, well, news going around, but yeah, it's the time when she won the championship, you know, she mentions there not being able to see it. When her dad was wrestling, Rick was in WWE wrestling, he was unable to visit her, like see him person to person, because of the time of his career in WWE, or see, because her mother had to look after him for then. Then it turns out from there that randomly she just says that that she doesn't need him anymore. She's dead to him, she said, which was quite shocking. And that I was really shocked by this, that she has the spotlight on her than Rick ever did, which I thought, you know, it's like when which Chris Jericho said. When he was something like the best person, or something like Andre the Giant, he said something really harsh there. I think something that Charlotte saying that the spotlight was on her than Rick ever did, that was quite harsh on Rick. Obviously, Rick was crying at this time and stage for like it, and she was like, why crying and stuff, and his thing. Obviously, Rick's gone now. He exited the building. Obviously, Renee tried to catch up with him. He didn't want to really speak anything. I don't know what exactly he said. He probably something that he just used to talk. And he left the building crying. So I'm not sure if this is the end of Rick. I feel like it is now. Everybody was sad seeing him go. We saw Titus and Zach, and people saying goodbye to him. But yeah, I wasn't too sure on. A bit harsh what Charlotte said about him. That the spotlight was that moment when she had the when the women's championship was on her than he ever did in his career. I feel like I was really harsh. Is that me, or is that normal to say? I don't know. I feel like that's along the lines of Jericho saying something about whatever he said about Andre the Giant in that interview with Renee Young when he was near the locker room last week or more. That's it. Something about his jacket being something better than Andre the Giant. I know, but I missed mentioning that. But yeah. Apparently Paige is going with Dario. It's a social media kind of shock thing. Apparently Charlotte was out with Alberto before Paige was, and I feel like it's going to interpret on Total Divas. I don't really think it's going to bring it in on WWE. I feel like they should just leave it out. I don't think it mention it. Don't, you know. Paige should just build herself up to the Women's Championship. Leave that on Total Divas, even though I don't watch that shirt's crap. That's my opinion anyway. But just leave that outside of WWE, put that on Total Divas. I don't want to see a Paige and Charlotte fighting over Dario. He's a 40-year-old man, and he's telling like Paige is 23. I don't know how old Charlotte is though, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to see it on my TV. I don't see it on my on Raw. I don't want to see it on SmackDown. But yeah, after that, I've seen an advert. We then saw Dean Ambrose, the last qualifying match versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, it was a bit boring again at the start. Not a lot happened until like we saw, obviously, we saw a splash from Dolph Ziggler. I'm pretty sure we saw Famouser. We saw Dean Ambrose doing that flying through the ropes thing, Dolph Ziggler's super kick, drop kick, mid-air thing where he jumps off the turnbuckle. Well, he did hit Dean Ambrose mid-air with a drop kick as he was trying to do an elbow or something. We saw Ambrose's clothesline, we saw roll-ups, and during the end of the match, Dolph Ziggler tried to put a sleep on him. Dean Ambrose held onto the ropes, shook him off, and then hit the deed. So, like a 11-minute match, decent match, and then, yeah, so, Dean Ambrose is qualified. I don't know what's going to happen to Dolph Ziggler. He's probably going to have his feud with Baron Corbin. I don't think this will last much longer, but yeah, after that, it was a short review, guys, really, because you know, it's probably going to be like 30 minutes here, probably. That's fair enough. Most of mine are 40 minutes, probably because I've talked so low, too much into it, but Dolph Ziggler, apparently people want to build Dolph Ziggler up again, make Dolph Ziggler great again, and he should. I think he deserves a title shot. He's been in the WWE for quite a while, as well as Cody Rhodes, who's told WWE that he wants to release his contract due to, well, people are thinking that he hasn't, you know, because of Dusty Rhodes' death, he hasn't got that out of his mind, obviously you can tell, and you can't really blame him. A legend such as Dusty Rhodes, a caring, awesome, you know, sensational person, from Cody, who's like 30 years old, and it is, even I sometimes get upset about stuff like that, because he's such a he was such a legend in WWE, and you know, losing your dad at 30 years old is a low age to lose them. Most people lose them at 40, usually mid-40s. 30 is a really young age, guys. But you know, people were saying that they knew it was going to come because of his appearance. I didn't really look too much into it, but yeah, it was just a tragic time, especially for Cody and Dustin. You know, Goldust, and yeah, so obviously Cody apparently the Stardust gimmick people don't like, they don't get, but thingy, Dusty Rhodes gave them to his sons as nicknames. So Cody was called Stardust, Dustin was called Goldust. So yeah, it was pretty, so that's why his gimmick is that, to remember him and stuff, you know. But yeah, he's released his contract. He might come back, you never know. He does have it in him. He can still last another 10 or so years, like Alberto and that have for their 40 or so. So he will come back. We hope he comes back as a Cody Cody kind of, you know, gimmick, not the Stardust, but you can't really blame him if he wants to be Stardust, because, you know, he's been given that nickname for a reason from his dad, and yeah. So after the Dean Ambrose versus obviously Dean Ambrose is qualified now, so this match, obviously, Dean Ambrose is in it now, which is interesting because Rollins and Reigns are in the Money in the Bank match, so Dean Ambrose could cash in on one of them if he wins. But I wasn't too sure it was going to win between Dolph and Dean, because I thought WWE were going to give Dolph Ziggler a chance, considering Dean's won 2 pay-per-view matches in a row now. But obviously not, because obviously they had that segment with Baron and Dolph, so obviously therefore he's not done there. Main event is AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens. Before this, apparently he came out saying Roman's a good wrestler. People were bubbling that he's one of the best he's faced, and he's but yeah, he said that he would have probably won it if it wasn't for the club and the Usos. So this makes the club come out. The club comes out complaining, saying that you wouldn't be like so kind of popular way and the position you are now if it wasn't for us, and you wouldn't have won some of the matches if it wasn't for us. AJ's like, I told you when I came to WWE I wanted to go separate ways, but that doesn't mean we're not still best of friends and brothers. Club disagree, they just, like, you know, disagree. They're back, and they're not AJ seems not to respect them for that, and AJ thinks they've changed, they think he's changed. AJ says he does that weird thing with his hand, and they reject it, and they say that they're not brothers anymore, they're not friends anymore, so they go their separate ways. Advert comes on, Kevin Owens comes out, and this match was really, really good. We saw this before, and I was really surprised. We saw super kicks, we saw Kevin Owens cannonballs, still saw Kevin Owens going to barge into the steel steps, saw a German suplex, we saw a moonsault, a miss from Kevin Owens. We saw, I think it was a 450 splash, and then AJ Styles went not on the turnbuckle, the top rope, not the bottom rope, out of the three, the top one, and did that weird splash. I thought it was 450, or something like that. Well, as we saw powerbomb on the steel steps, which I was shocked about. I was like, wow. Pele kick, and after that Pele kick, AJ Styles was getting up ready for the forearm. Kevin Owens barged into the ropes. He landed on his fruit basket and then put powerbomb. We dragged him and then pop up. So Owens qualified. So you've got Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and is that it? And Cesaro. There's two other people supposed to be in the match. But the people that we just named, you can't predict who's going to win this. Really high superstars. Obviously, The Miz didn't need to win, so obviously people were going to think that Cesaro was going to win. But out the other ones, I wasn't too sure because they're all good competitors. Like I said about Bob Backlund, damn young, it's not going to work. It's not going to get over. Let's deal with that. But yeah, I don't know where AJ Styles is going to go from here. People are thinking, Roman Reigns just squashed him. He's not going to do much now. He might be on. Some people saying he might be on maybe an event a lot of the time now, or something like that. I disagree. I think he'll have another feud with somebody. I'd like to see him feud with someone that's not doing too much. Someone like Tyler Breeze. I'd like to see Tyler Breeze back in. Decent matches, because we know Tyler Breeze is a good competitor, and it feels sorry for him considering he's with a jobber squad. Obviously, we didn't see many jobbers, which was a good thing, which I liked, because WWE should keep to that route. But yeah, that was so we got Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro, Chris Jericho, only four. But yeah, four good competitors. It's going to be unpredictable who's going to win because you don't know. People think Kevin Owens might get it to cash in because he deserves it, and he's going to be a main event on the match cards, that's pay-per-views. Dean Ambrose, people think Dean Ambrose because it would be funny, just him cash in either Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. People might say Sami Zayn because he wants to make his mark more in WWE, and people might want Cesaro because he's been in WWE for quite a long time. He deserves a championship, but yeah, that's why it's unpredictable. But yeah, that's been the Monday Night RAW review in Baltimore, guys. Remember to follow me up on Rampaging Dan, and I'd rate this Raw probably, it's improvement. I gave it a 3 or 4 last time. I'd definitely give it a 3 from last week's, but this one's probably an 8. I wasn't too sure if it was due to the qualifying match, but there was no jobbers, which was a good thing because I was a social outcast. But yeah, an interesting Raw. I'd give it an 8.5 at least. And I really enjoyed it. So that's been the Monday Night RAW review. Remember to follow me on Twitter on Rampaging Dan and comment what you thought about this Monday Night RAW, Money in the Bank qualifying show, and the return of Seth Rollins. I feel like Money in the Bank's gonna be another good pay-per-view, guys. And yeah, I'll be on Patreon Parties, guys. And yeah, remember to follow me out on Rampaging Dan. I tweet about WWE stuff a lot of the time when I can. But I'll see you guys in the next video.